Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
But no, what I was saying earlier is like, you know, you guys are beloved. Like, I don't know if you know it or not, but you're beloved in this community. Like, people use you as a barometer, like, to compare. Because I mean, I'll be honest. When you guys first reached out
to us, thank you.
Well, when you guys first reached out to me, I listened to some of your recorded stuff, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. I didn't know at the time that you were a two-piece. Like, you didn't, you know, like I say, which rightfully so, like, you didn't, like, say, hey, we're a two-piece. You're like, hey, we'll play. So when I heard you guys the first time, I was like, this is interesting. I haven't heard anything, because you've got it's almost like you got, like, a baritone under, like.
I know, it's bizarre.
I don't know how to describe your sound,
I don't know how y'all do it.
I really don't. But it was just interesting. And then the first time you played here, and I saw you live, it's like, oh, you're one of those bands that you got to see live.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just saying. Yeah. Literally, we're the type of band that sells music live. We sell shirts live. We sell everything live. Online, crickets.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's because when you see it live, there's like a whole nother dimension to your music that you don't like. It doesn't come through when you're listening to it recorded. And you're one of the best live bands that we've ever had on our stage. Like I love having you guys play here.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, it's like so much sounds coming from two people. It's incredible.
And it's not favoritism from me, because they were one of the first bands the first night I worked the green room and did emceeing.
Oh, yeah. It was
they were
first
so
night,
sweet. Yes, it was the first night.
night.
They were the sweetest. They're very patient, and they were like, no. This is how fast these bands should get off stage, and they were like, "This is how we do it," and it was fantastic.
Like 5 minutes.
Yes,
we're from that era though. You know, like 20 years ago, where we played in a club in Atlanta, and the guy would walk on stage and go, "If you're not off stage in 3 minutes, you don't get paid. You're never coming back." And you're like,
"What is that about?"
Well,
I hear shit like this all the time.
In those cities, they're booked 7 nights a week. They got 4 bands a night. They don't want to lose anybody in between to go walk to the bar across the street. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. If there's too much downtime between bands, people get restless or on their now they're on their phones, but they would just walk. It was in a little 5 Points area back in Atlanta, so there were bars everywhere. So like, if you take too long to get off the stage, we lose people. People walk out.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can not. Explaining it that way, I just Gastonia's.
No,
it's just not happening here.
No,
we're not big.
But you're
cities.
so conditioned to that. It's just like the other night we got off stage. And what does Soundman say? He goes, "You guys, what did he say?"
Well, everyone always says it.
They're like,
how
we're
do you do
off
that
in 3
in like
minutes.
8 minutes.
And the drummer's still tightening the cymbals and looking at things, shaking his friend's hand, doing little selfies. I'm like, people are waiting, and that's the only problem in this, where we're at now. People's attention spans are like this.
Yes.
So
it is
too much downtime, they don't like it.
I mean, I know I do. I will get annoyed if it's taking too long for a band to get set up. I feel like any more than 15 to 20 minutes, you start pushing 20. I'm like, what's going on? I always go to the sound guy, whoever it is, at night, and be like, what's going on here?
I try to hold them to their standard now. I mean, I'm serious. I'm like, no, y'all can get off faster than that.
And like, a lot of people get on stage and they talk and they're showing people their gear and stuff. Man, just do all that after. Just take your stuff off. Let the other guys. You have it laid out right, though. This is how all the pro clubs do it, though. It's like you have a ramp that comes on and off. This speeds everything up 10 times.
Yeah,
it just does. You're not lifting things off the edge of the stage and going out the front door and stuff. I mean, I said that the first time I walked in here. I was like, I was like, either he's a musician or he has a lot of friends who are musicians, because he thought this thing out so well. Everything is just right. Yeah. The sight lines right. The height of the stage. The depth of the stage, where it doesn't eat up all the low end. I mean, I hear all the. I mean,
thank you for noticing.
Great room.
Thank you. I had a lot of time to think about it. Like it took me
did it right. You did.
It took me 4 years to get open. I had a lot of time to think about it. Let me introduce you guys.
Sure.
Do you prefer Jared or Von Berry?
For this Von Berry.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're talking to Mike and Von Berry of Hellfire 76. The award-winning Queen City Nerves award-winning rock and roll duo. You guys are fantastic. Hellfire 76. What's that about? Is that a reference to something?
Not really. Honestly, I would
Who
love
was
to
born
say
in
it had this
76?
great. I think
Neither
it was-
one of us.
Neither one of us. Yeah, and it was just like, and I always tell people like I always use 76 in like like an email or something like that because I always had this thing as a kid. I always wanted the Bicentennial Gibson Firebird, Gibson Thunderbird, bass and guitar. I loved it. It was the 76 model where the little bird was red, white, and blue. It's the only time they ever did it.
Okay.
And I don't know, it just stuck with me. Paul Stanley had one. I was like, all right, those are kind of cool, and it just stuck with me. It was
So
just
kind
an
of like
easy,
your favorite number almost.
yeah, it was, and then you had when I was a little kid, this Philadelphia 76ers
Yeah.
had the little thing, Dr. J. It was just a number.
Phillips
young enough-
76 was a gas station for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's just an easy. It
You're
rolls off
right.
your tongue.
76 is a common number.
It just
is.
rolls off your tongue. And I remember where Hellfire came from. I'm trying to remember where.
We had another name picked out.
Yeah, we had
there
a
was
bunch
a
of
band
them.
in Mexico that had that
Yeah.
name, and we weren't.
Well, what
gonna
was that
bother.
name?
I don't remember. We had so many names. We had literally a lot of bad ones too.
A terrible one.
And then I don't remember where Hellfire came from. I'm trying to even remember. I was like, I remember I was like, Mike, I think I got something last night I was thinking about, and it just popped into my head. And this was 2 years before Stranger Things. So when Stranger Things happened, everybody, you must have got it from Stranger Things. I'm like, no, but we love the bump. I mean, it was great. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We missed out on the T-shirts.
We did miss out on the T-shirts because we were going to make those instead of the Hellfire Club, do the 76 and shoot some out. But I was like, no, we missed that. Missed the window on that one. But it's we just want something easy that I don't have to repeat it. Though sometimes those names, what was the name of your band again? Oh, Unquenchable Thirst for Ignorance. Okay, I got it. No, I don't. I will forget that name tomorrow.
Thirst for ignorance.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I
That's
don't.
great.
That's not a name that rolls off my tongue. That I'm just,
Yeah, there was like a whole era of band names that were full sentences.
yeah.
It's like, why?
A Place to Bury Strangers. I'm like, okay. Yeah, good band, but that's not, doesn't scream something I want to, it's like you got to take 5 minutes out of your life to say it. No. It's
What-
just simple. And same with the branding, it's like, I'm just, when you see those, you ever see all those, like Sonic Temple and Louder, what are all those metal festivals? You see all the bands. When you see the Pantera logo, you know it. When you see the Slayer logo, you know it. I wanted something like that. That was like first and foremost,
Okay.
because my lawyer always used to say, if you change your brand name, he goes, you just take money out of your pocket.
Yep.
He goes, keep one brand identity, that's it.
And this is where our paths cross on this conversation, because I did the same thing with the Rooster when I was trying to come up with a name for this place. It had to be something that was memorable, and the logo had to be something that was so different that you're going to remember it. And I had the same mentality when it came to naming this place. What I want to know is, was the two-piece a conscious, like, did you ever have a third member? Okay, yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how you became two-piece?
We started as a two-piece, and we wrote. Well, we've always
Wrote
written
all
all
of
the
it, yeah.
music, just two of us. But I wanted to see what it'd be like to have a bass player in there for the low end, and I knew this one guy was a phenomenal bass player.
No, he's good.
And he came in and recorded the first EP we did, and unfortunately he got real sick with COVID and has had so
Like a
far
nerve
lifelong
damage.
side
Yeah.
effects
Oh,
that
wow.
Oh,
he
geez.
can't
he
stand.
can't play anymore.
Yeah.
He can play, but
goodness.
He can
can't-
play, but he sits
he
like
can't-
he
he
sits on the
can't
edge
do
of a
what-
chair or
yeah,
something. It's
Poor
not
fellow,
fair.
man.
He was
We
a good
just went
dude.
back to being a two-piece.
Yeah, you don't replace a good guy that did nothing wrong. You don't.
No.
That's just
Yeah.
kind of like, no, we can just keep going like this,
It's
And,
just easier that way.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to him in a hot minute, but Mike has. He's just kind of in that place, and there's a bunch of people. I have an old coworker of mine got the same exact problem after COVID. It's some weird side effect to it where it creates. How do you explain it? Like when your feet are frozen, and when you're out in the cold and your toes are getting numb. That's his whole body.
Yeah, it's like he's just nerve damage from
Was
it.
that was from the actual
It's like a side
virus
effect of
or the
Yes,
vaccine?
COVID.
No, from the
No,
virus.
from the virus.
He
Yeah.
didn't get a vaccine.
He didn't get a vaccine.
How unlucky, man. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So it was like, that's what we thought. Well, if we replace somebody, we thought about it literally for one day. I reached out to like 5 people. They all hit us back, and we're like, Can we sit in a
forget
van
it.
with that guy for like 4 hours? Nah, I don't think so. We'll just go ahead.
The
and
only
just-
reason we even brought in a bass player is because he was such a good bass player.
Yeah, and a good
Okay.
guy.
I had been in previous bands with him, and he's
Yeah, Tori. He's a
there's
good guy.
really nobody better.
Oh, he's solid.
And
he has
if
his
we
own
weren't going
thing
to have
going.
him, we just weren't going to have anybody.
Yeah.
Well, you make the two-piece work, and here lately, I've actually had communication with several different two-piece. Like there are some other great two-piece.
Flame Tides.
Flame
Yeah,
Tides.
they're good.
Systematic Devastation out of Greenville, great two-piece
Oh,
band.
really?
Fear Until Fury, or is it? I think it's Fear Until Fury, or something like that. Damn it, they're going to be so mad at me. Out of Georgia, they sent us a couple links, and I went and they did like an hour long or a 45-minute long video for Billabong.
Oh, wow.
And they reminded me of you. They had a very full sound with just two guys, with the guitar player and drummer, and like it's kind of a thing, It's kind of a thing now with the two-piece
We've
band.
crossed paths with a lot
We
of
have.
them. Acid Hawk out of Charleston is a really good band.
They're really. You need to get them in here.
Dead Vibe
they're really good.
Ensemble out of Athens is a great band too.
Yeah, they're
both
brutal.
two pieces.
And then
really
what's
good.
the name? 20-watt Tombstone.
20-watt
That'd be
Tombstone.
another good one to get in here. They're from
20-watt
Minnesota.
Tombstone.
They come around about 3 times a year, and they're playing a couple of weeks from now. I guess. Where is that? Snug, or somewhere?
Well, I had the
don't
thought.
remember.
I had the thought. I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I was like, I kind of want to put together like an all two-piece show.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we've
So-
tried
Cool.
to do that
So
a few times.
maybe
It's
after
cool.
this podcast, we can talk about that.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be fun. It'll be the most efficient show we ever.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you could do 4 bands in the time it would do 2.
Yeah.
Easy sound
Yeah,
check.
you
all
get
that.
Acid Hawk. We could get the band from Athens.
That's
Yeah.
one of those that you can
And
stack
maybe
with, like,
Flame
8
Tides.
bands.
Oh, big Flame Tides. Yeah, we could do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Easy.
Flame Tides was here a few weeks ago. They had a cool vibe, man. They had
They're
a
cool
really
people,
cool vibe.
too.
Yeah.
They're the nicest people on earth.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys make rock music, hard rock music.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about there's maybe I could be misinterpreting, but there seems to be kind of a theme to the songs you guys play, at least the ones you play live. Are you putting out a message, an intentional message? Music?
No, intentional questioning, yes.
Okay.
I always say it's like it's everything is about questioning everything, and that's our whole.
We
kind
don't
of-
play favorites.
Don't pick a team.
it that way.
Don't
We don't
don't
pick
play
a team.
favorites. Not at all. But we like what I call is the word double entendre, right? Where it could mean one thing and it could also mean another, or things that just make your head scratch a little bit. I like to question things. I like to poke the lion.
Yeah.
It's like I went to a religious Lutheran high school when I was younger, and I remember we had the Good News Bible, and you're reading it, and it's got all the pictures in there and stuff. If you've ever seen one of those, and they're cool. And then you're in Genesis 22, and there's this image of this guy holding his baby with a knife like this. And I asked the teacher, I was like, that doesn't look right. Because, well, it's like it was part of God's wishes. He wanted Abraham to sacrifice his child. At the last minute, he goes, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yep.
And I said, I don't think it didn't make sense to me. And I got kind of confronted, or what's the word I'm looking for, reprimanded for questioning the word. I was like, but it doesn't make sense. I go, because if he did that today, that wouldn't be, well, no, that wouldn't happen today. This was just back then. I'm like, oh, okay. So we base everything in society on something that happened 2,000 years ago that's been rewritten 1,000 times. Okay, I'm good. But I like the whole, it makes you think about things for a second. You're like, no, that doesn't sound logical,
Yeah.
If somebody said that now, you'd be like, social services come in, take your kid. They'd be hauling you away. Guys in the white coats are coming,
Yeah.
because, oh, well, God told me to do this. But that's the thing. It's like it shouldn't be, Mom. It shouldn't be okay here, but then not really okay. It shouldn't be, well, that's not real. You'll see a lot of like the pastors and preachers and stuff, and they're like, well, what God is trying to say. I'm like, no, it's either he's saying it or he's not. He's not trying to say anything. Either it's saying it or it's not. But the minute we start interpreting, it's that's when that's when all hell breaks loose.
It's all been overinterpreted and perverted
it's-
over the years.
Well,
and
man. So all right. I'll step in here.
Sure.
Man, so I believe there is a higher power.
Sure.
I'll start there.
Absolutely.
Yes, there's a higher power. What that higher power is, none of us have the ability to even begin to comprehend what it is. So, man, and I'll say this about the Bible. What's the basic instruction before leaving Earth, right? It's a great guide. I think people take the stories a little too literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same as old Greek fables. It's a collection of stories that you should learn something from. That's how I feel about it. If you don't feel that way, that's fine too. Yeah, I try really hard not to, I don't feel strongly enough about any of that to
Me
make
either.
it the hill I'm going to die on.
No.
Right? But
Because-
some people do.
Well, there's wars right now. People are fighting over Holy Land over stuff that they can't see.
Well, where I was going to go next was just like, so you were raised in a Lutheran school. I was not raised in a religious school, but I was raised in a Pentecostal church.
Oh boy.
Right. Hardcore. Of course I'm a heavy metal fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of course.
Because
Yeah,
sometimes
is
you're
it-
crammed down your throat so much, you almost want to revert. You almost want to be like, get this away from me a little bit.
Look, churches can learn a lot from like the art of, delicate teaching, having stuff like that crammed down your throat as a child, and as a child, you're not thinking philosophically. You're not on that level. You don't have the tools in your toolbox to understand.
Nope.
Right? So all you're learning as a kid, at least from my experience, was I'm being frightened into this way of life.
Scared
That's
into submission.
that's where you nail it. It's like, we were talking about this one time. There was a movie that came out like 20 years ago called The Village.
Oh, yeah.
M.
Oh,
Night
yeah.
Shyam- okay. Did you check out the first 5 minutes of that? It's like this cool little happy civilization they create and stuff. And at the end of the night, they all go run inside, and that big goblin-y looking thing comes out and walks. In order to create any sort of civilization, in order to control it, you have to have a base of fear. Because if I can't scare you, I can't tell you what to do.
Can't control.
Can't
your
control
will.
Can't
you.
control what
Yeah.
you can't. So
Yeah,
if you
and
have fear harnesses everybody.
And I'll play devil's advocate with it right now. There's good and bad to that, right?
Absolutely.
Like some people are going to be way happier in that environment, in that structure, than they ever would in a world that they have to think for themselves or think on their own. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody.
No, that makes sense because there are people. I call
That
there's people
thrive.
that need structure. The people that need to work for people, and there's people that need to be on their own. You have both sides, and there's no right or wrong. I get that totally.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so generous.
Absolutely.
I guess is the best word. That's why I'm so generous when it comes to people's perspectives and belief
Yeah.
systems. Like I don't want to piss on anybody's belief system. I'm not here to do that. It's not my place to judge. I just wish more people felt that way.
Yeah.
The problem is with certain structures, certain societal structures. It becomes. You're seeing it play out in real time on social media right now with political ideology and stuff like it's almost like politics is a new religion.
Yeah.
The way that people adhere so
Well
strictly
said.
to.
And a lot of them use religion for
If they know they can harness a
whatever their
certain
end
group of
game's
people,
going to be, they use it.
And it can be frustrating for people like us who understand manipulation. Like when you're able to see right through, manipulative practices. For lack of a better term, mind control. You have this power over people. All you need is a charismatic personality and a wealth of knowledge of something.
David
And-
Koresh, it didn't work
Okay,
out
you
too
see,
well.
Yeah. And I'm not comparing religion to cults, but they are. It's kind of what it is. You have this.
Some are great, and some are really kind of wacky.
Yeah.
What's that Westboro Baptist Church? There's like
Oh,
9 of them,
Jesus, fuck that.
but they're nuts. They've made such an imprint on people because they go out and say the craziest stuff in the name of God.
Well, if
That's
you're
their
going
other
to
side,
if you're
you
going to
know?
show up at a dead soldier's funeral and
exactly.
protest because they were gay, you're the asshole.
That's
Like you are the
problems.
asshole in this situation. And I don't want to turn this into a religious
No,
bashing
not at
thing.
all.
Because again, some people need some sort of structure. I talk addicts, like drug and alcohol addicts. AA has saved a lot of lives.
It does.
It's a religious based organization, right? And there's people that would otherwise be dead or committing terrible felonies if they didn't have this thing to believe in.
Saved a lot of my friends.
Yeah, so I'm all for whatever gets you where you need to be a productive member of society.
Just don't cram it down our throats.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with politics. Do whatever you want, just don't make me pay for it, right? Like
Exactly.
don't make me the bad guy because I don't think the same way you do. In fact, I think we could all learn a lot more from each other with discussion and debate than we ever will shutting each other off or I can't speak to this person because they think this. No, you should learn from those people. You should learn from others because, just like you said, you and I both grew up in a religious environment, and there's a lot of great people. You got a belief system, and it's strong. It's part of who you are. I don't want to take that away from anybody.
And I'm from New Orleans. That's where I grew up, and that is a Catholic Baptist city, big time. I mean, it's so ingrained there.
That explains
And
a lot.
as many great people that I know there's a lot of twisted ones too. It's like that's the city of sin, but it's also such a religious city.
It's such a spiritual
you see,
city.
oh yeah, you see both sides of it all day and night. Absolutely, and there's no right or wrong. I have friends on both sides of the fence. I mean, literally, it's more about the person. You can believe whatever you want to believe and be a crappy person. You can believe whatever you want to believe and be a great person. Just be a good person. It's so much. It's like the whole smiling and frowning. It takes 16 muscles to smile and 32 to frown. Just be a good person. It doesn't take that much effort.
Yeah, and that's the vibe. That's the message we want to put out there is just be fucking kind.
Absolutely.
Just be be
More
generous.
bees with honey.
Yeah, give people the benefit of the doubt. You never know how you're going to react to a situation until you're in it. You never know what someone else is going through. I used to wait tables, for a living, and I bartended before I had this place. And one of the things that I tried my best to do was try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because you know as well as I do, when people go out to eat, there's I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but people can be real fucking pricks.
Oh, yeah.
When they go out to eat.
Maybe it's because they're hangry.
Or entitled. They feel like they're entitled.
It's I think it's more of an entitlement thing. Yeah. But I always tried to remember, I don't know what this person's day was like.
Exactly.
You might be catching the shit of everything they've been eating all day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you just happen to be the person that's, that this is their breaking point, or they've had enough for the day. And I try to be generous and give people the benefit of the doubt when they're when they act like assholes.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, we have had to remove people from here because they won't fucking chill. Chill out. Like you're killing our vibe, man.
Exactly. It's a pretty peaceful little place. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with metal crowds, like we were saying about good people and stuff. I don't know any bad metalheads.
No.
I don't know any mean ones. I don't even remember the last time I was at a metal show and there was a fight.
It's one of the most loving crowds.
It is. You're getting so much aggression from the music and from the crowd that, people would mosh, they pick each other up, It's like it's more of a community than anything.
It's when people look at them and they're like, ew, they've got to be the most worst people ever. And they're some of the most kindest people.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, punk rock was mohawks and jackets and stuff, and all the movies and TV shows would portray the punk rocker as this angry punk rock kid. And then as I started to develop my own taste and get to know punk and metal bands and fans and stuff, that wasn't my experience at all.
No, they were the ones who stood up for the little guy. They were the ones who stood up for everybody's rights and everything, and that's why I love it so much. Well, and the first time I ever saw Bright Blue Mohawk and People, not People magazine, but a Time Life or a Reader's Digest, something my parents had. I was like, ooh.
Well, you want to talk about courage, man. You know how much courage it took in the 1980s to walk out your house, looking for, if you're going by societal norms like a freak. Yeah. Because at the time, that was the perception.
Yeah.
Your parents were mad at you. Your neighbors didn't like you. You risked somebody throwing something at you from a car. Oh yeah. I get it.
Yeah. But at the same time, like us being younger going, that's so awesome. That was me at
We're
least.
trying to express
Oh,
ourselves.
you
Yeah.
gravitate towards it.
Right.
Absolutely. I would say stay weird, do weird, be weird.
Well, for me, like I kind of stumbled into being weird. Being perfectly honest,
Absolutely.
I was always super curious. I have always had a very curious mind. I'm nosy as fuck. Like I want to know what's going on.
You are very
love it.
curious. That's a nice way of putting
I'm
it.
a super curious person, and it's a thirst for knowledge that I have. Like I want to know. I want to
Yeah.
know things. And as a teenager, I started experimenting, with drugs and stuff like that because it was never peer pressure for me. Like it was never like you should do this. Everything I've done in my life was always on my own terms. And for me, my curiosity got the best of me. It's like I want to know what this is all about. Why do people love this thing so much? And I mean, I'm still like that at 44 years old. I still want to understand where people are coming from. Now, I will say this. That will get you into some very uncomfortable situations
time.
It will.
and very, conversations you might not really want to be in. But at the end of the day, I try to learn something, from whatever the experience was. And it all led me to where I'm at
Exactly.
now. So I don't think I've done anything wrong in terms of the choices I made, but I could have probably gotten further ahead by not being so curious. And it goes back to the religious and the structural structure of society. You can be this. You can go to school, go to college, go to church, get your degree, go be an accountant. You can go be a lawyer. You can go do this, and you can reap the benefits of that. You can get your 2 to 3 weeks of paid vacation. You can get your Christmas bonus. You can get your 2 kids and 2.5 kids in a white picket fence and live in a HOA. None of that ever appealed to me. None of it.
And it's not always all the poets wrote, too. Now you become like your neighbor. Everybody looks the same. Like my neighborhood, he's saying about everybody's got a doodle. Every wife looks the same. Every husband drives the same. They all have there's 4 houses in a row where they all have a white SUV and a gray sedan. I'm like, do you guys just all go car shopping together? There's that side of it too, where it's like you got all the stuff, but now, oh, he's got a BMW. Oh, honey, we got a good BMW. Oh, they got we're getting one too. And I'm like, I noticed like everybody is like copying each other. There's that side too. It's like, well, if she's doing it, it's probably okay.
And what's with the whole white and gray?
Imagine if your entire identity was tied to this shared, system of belief and structure. Imagine being the odd one out. It goes back to courage. It takes courage to be different.
It's almost like a hive mentality.
It is. It is a hive mentality. It's I'm part, but again, it kind of sounds like I'm shitting on it.
No, not
on
at
some
all.
level I am.
No, but we celebrate individuality, so
Yeah, but some people thrive in that environment.
They do.
Like I have. There's a group of friends that are in my life that I won't really talk to that much anymore since I've opened this place. Opening this place almost forced me out of that group. Fine, whatever, but those people are boring. Yeah, I
Thank
don't.
you for saying
their
that.
whole goal is status quo.
Yeah. It's like I want more for like when I'm on my deathbed. God willing, I'm able to have time to reflect before I pass away. I want to be proud of what I did. Like I want to know that I did something that mattered, that made a difference in someone's life, and that's I don't think you can get that outside of parenthood. Okay, I'm not going to shit on that.
No.
Outside of parent, because that's important too.
Sure.
And I think, if you want to dig even deeper, I think that's part of why people submit to that lifestyle is because once you start having kids, you finally start to understand like the full weight of how much it sucks not being accepted, not being part. Like you don't want your kid to ever feel that. So it's like we're going to raise this kid to be part of this community so that they don't feel abandoned or left out. And I get that. I do. I get that. I struggle like trying to, sometimes I got to justify to my daughter like why I have to be here so much and why I'm not home. Like explaining to her the ins and outs of, you make choices in life, you find yourself in certain opportunities aren't available to you. So, you're doing the best with what you got, and that's why I need you to keep your grades up and keep your room clean. And I need you to do these things so that this doesn't happen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like one of my jobs, I wait tables. And I hear these conversations. It's a high-end place I work at. So I always see the two couples come in. And it's almost like the same blueprint. The two guys are like, well, you know, if you hedge this way and you parlay your money into this, blah, blah. And the two guys are talking to the girls like, oh, my God, and this is the hat I got. And look how fabulous I got. And look, you know, I actually got this before I was, like, super hot and blah, blah. Who did your hair? Did you get married? I'm sitting there looking. These two are having this conversation. I see that 10 times a night. I see the same conversation. And it's like, I'm not saying they're boring. That's probably what makes them happy. It's great. But when these guys aren't talking about money, they're on their phones. They don't have like anything to contribute to conversation. They don't do anything. And trust me, I would love to have the money that they forgot about. Trust me. But there's a fine line between chasing the fake rabbit. You know, the greyhound that chases that little rabbit. They think they're going to catch it and they're running their ass off, and that rabbit's just on the track. It's never going to be caught. There's a fine line between that and just, you know, stopping and looking around a second. Wait a minute, you know, this is good. I got a good life. Let's go enjoy things. Let's go experience stuff. But they kind of chasing that thing. They're constantly, you know, how is so and so make his numbers this month? Oh my God, you know, what are we doing? We need to get together.
They
We need
their
to.
whole life doing that.
They do. They're always chasing. It's not. They have this. It's not good enough. Now I need that. Now I need that. They're always looking for the next thing instead of just kind of. I don't know. It make themselves interesting. I have no idea.
My curiosity for those type of people, I want to find out, you know, they've got that one track mind, but I like to find out like what actually like go in deep and makes them tick. Like what weird things do you like? What do your friends consider weird? What is that you like? And then they realize, oh well, I'm like, well that's actually weird. You can like stuff. I had a friend who was so like that, and she was like, I'm not used to somebody accepting me. I was like, I want all of your weird. Bring all your weird. I want it all. I want to see all because that's who you are.
Well, a lot of these people have spent their whole life training to be that person.
Yeah.
You know, and I decided early on, like, I wanted, like, once you accept that when it's over, it's over. Like, there's no, you know, when you're dead, you're dead, okay? I'm sorry, but that's the fact. You know, if there is an afterlife, I can guarantee you one thing that I do know for certain is you won't remember any of this.
Mm-mm. And you can't take any of this with you.
You can't take any of it with you. Yeah, I had an uncle that used to say, what are you, trying to be the richest man in the graveyard? Yeah.
True, there's a lot of truth to that.
There's a lot of truth in what he said. He said that shit all the time. And it's, you know.
Never see a Brinks truck follow a hearse to a funeral. You know, like, it's the truth, you know?
Yeah, and so when you come to grips with that, like, when it's over, like, that's it. You get this one shot. It's a whole lot easier to kind of lean into, well, what do I really want to do with my life? You know, where am I really going to find purpose? You know, I find it hard to believe that you have a lot of purpose if your job is managing rich people's money, or if your job is selling insurance. Like, you know, no offense.
No disrespect. We need insurance.
Yeah,
we need all that stuff.
I need insurance to stay in business.
If you like it.
And there's also a personality type for that type of job too. You know, it's like I myself am a little more outgoing. I would do horrible. I'd be fired. They'd fire me. I'd be talking too much. I wouldn't be making my sales. But there is a personality type for that, and you know, more power to those people. You know, it's just it's a gig I just don't want to sign up for.
I mean, I will admit it would be nice to have a boat. You know, I don't know what that's like, but you know, I can't not say fuck. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? It's just that's who I am.
It's so hard.
It's rewarding. Like even just doing this. Yes, we all work. We all have jobs, but it's so rewarding to get off of work and go to practice and work on songs. And you know, we talk about our day, and then we get on some songs.
I'm so glad you went there because I was literally on the brink of like, now let's talk about the music.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Rehearsals are half music and half just
just talking
conversation.
Yeah, a lot of hard day or something, but it's a great way for us to get out of that hard day. And we go and we just play very loud. And our whole room is set up like literally like a stage. We got like lights we got all those lights on stage. We have all that stuff in our room and more. We just make it like an event. Every time we walk in, smoke going. We got all the lights, tapestry.
You ever invite friends over to practice, like make a thing of it?
No, because it's more like that's where we get it done. That's what we go in there. It's like, we got an idea. Let's get it done. That's kind of we go, but we want to make it where it's just not four walls. Our place it's got vibe for days, and it's awesome. And we go in there, and it's inspiring. Sometimes I go in there by myself. I just start working on stuff. It's just, I like that. I like that process. And it's, and a good example is COVID. During COVID, I wasn't too creative. We weren't doing anything. But when you're working a lot, you got a lot of frustration. You got a lot of dynamics with people and stuff. You have things to talk about, things that get you moving, So I like coming from a hard day's work, going into a place and getting all that out. And it comes out in the songs, It's definitely helpful.
Well, Mike, what about you? What's your day job?
I make and sell glasses for people. I work for optometrists.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Now,
Done it forever.
so is it an optometrist's office, or is it
Yeah.
like it is?
Yeah.
And what are your coworkers like? Have you ever invited your coworkers out to a show?
I've had almost every coworker I've ever had out to our shows.
And what's the
awesome.
feedback you get? Like, is everyone super supportive?
Yeah, they're always supportive because they know you as an individual. I work with a lot of like hyper Christian people,
Yeah.
believe it or not. And they're still, they'll listen and we'll have discussions about things we write about.
Yeah.
They really understand like my thinking on things and this and that. And it's, they're open enough to say, well, you're still, I see you every day. I spend 8 hours with you a day. I know you're a good person. What
Yeah.
your beliefs are or what you dislike about mainstream things, that we never hold it against each
Well,
other.
one of the reasons I am so generous with when it comes to these types of discussions is my youngest brother is like a shining example of what a Christian man should be.
Oh, wow.
He's like the perfect Christian. He really is. Like, shout out to my brother Adam if you're watching. I love you. He's devout. He's a musician. He's seen 5 of the 7 continents because of music.
Oh, wow.
Doing praise and worship music. The dude he's successful. He's got a successful business, and he's never once in his life ever been negative or been hateful or said anything like you're going to hell. He's always open for discussion, and he's going to share his experience and his opinion without being judgmental. I've never seen him.
He does it for himself.
He knows who he is. He knows what he believes,
Right.
and he's gonna. If you want to talk about it, he'll talk about it. If not, he'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. And like, not enough of those type of people get the attention.
He's the great example.
They don't get the credit.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Yeah.
the ones that use it to their own benefit for selfish reasons.
Well, it's a control thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely a control thing, and they're the ones who get the most publicity for.
Well, the squeaky
yeah.
wheel gets the grease, right?
Yes.
Right.
That's
Like,
what I was
the
thinking.
people that are making the most noise are the ones that get the most attention, and that's kind of why we're in the social situation we're
Exactly.
in now.
Sometimes
Yeah.
those are the ones we don't want to get the attention.
And-
Look at me, look at me, look at
I'm
me.
a vegetarian.
You are?
Yeah, but I work in a restaurant. We sell meat. I try it sometimes. I have to try the food. I don't care that you're not. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to force my way of being on you. That's how politics, that's how religion should be, just like being a vegetarian. That's for me. I do it for myself. I don't do it for you.
But not music. You should be here to see Hellfire
Music,
76.
but as far as the other stuff, I'm not preachy, man. Do you want to eat that cheeseburger? You do it. I love the smell of it. It smells great. It doesn't work for me. And that's the thing. I have friends on both sides of all the political and religious fences all day long. And we are still friends to this day because that's their thing. If that's the thing that makes you sleep good, great.
It's
You
the
want to listen to
respect.
country music? Awesome. You like hip hop? Fantastic. I like metal. I think that's great that you at least like something.
Yeah.
It's when you don't like anything. That's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. I would like to see you be passionate about something.
Be passionate about
Yeah,
something.
for
Make
sure.
because that's what makes you exciting.
Yeah.
It's like where I work, because I groom dogs during the day. I'm a dog groomer. And at night, I wait tables. And we call it Thursday night's date night. It's literally couples. And I hear the same conversation. So what do you do? Oh, okay. Oh, cool. You're in finance? Oh, okay, cool. And what do you do for fun? well, I like to hike, and I like to hike, and I like to I like to play darts. Oh, I play darts, and it's like, okay, you're just the most cooperative person in the world. Really, they don't do anything, and then 5 minutes later, they're both on their phones, and it's just like that's why you're here tonight, because some people are. So I know I'm kind of off on a tangent again, but it's like they're so they're chasing something like they're never going to catch. Instead, working on this and making themselves interesting. Oh, I love going to metal shows or stuff. And I've actually had the girl come in. She's got, like, you could tell she's a rocker chick. And the guy's like, holy shit, what did I sign up for? Oh, boy. And he's like this the whole time. She's talking. I've been in this show. I was in a mosh pit. I teach yoga and I sell liquor and I do all this stuff. And she's like head to toe and pentagrams and all. And he's like, he is like amazed. He's like, I have nothing in common with this person, but she is so hot and interesting. I'm just not leaving, You want another drink? Yeah, cool. And he had nothing to contribute, but he was so eyes on. And she's a metal chick that has a great corporate job and teaches yoga and all this stuff, but they're interesting,
She lives.
Yes, she lives. And that's the whole thing. It's like people now are so engrossed in their phones. Get out more. Come to a show. Come do things. Even if you don't come here, go to another show. Go do things. Leave your house. Get away from your television. Get away from your phone. Go out and be around people. You'll be surprised how much fun you're gonna have.
You keep saying about when I die, when I leave. You know what I want to leave? Interesting fucking stories to tell at my funeral.
That's exactly it.
That's what I want. That to me, I got to witness that when my uncle passed away, and all these people. We heard all these stories growing up from him. And it's like the movie Big Fish, if you've ever seen it.
Yes.
Like, you don't believe it until everybody comes to the funeral, and you're like, holy crap, that's so...
He was really cool.
That was a real person. That really happened. And it's just, that's what I want.
I'm not going to lie. There is a part of me that kind of wants to be someone's... Like, I want to be inspiring to people. Like, I want people to see the thing... Specifically, my daughter. I want her to see... That's part of the reason I fight so hard to, like, make this place successful. I want her to be inspired. I want anyone that looks at my life and the choices I make. The first half of my life was rough. Like a lot of bad decisions. Mm-hmm. I kind of figured it out, shifted my mindset, and got on some other shit. Got on this positive, track, but it also kind of set me up to kind of limit my options, so to speak. And I just want people to see that whatever it is you're trying to do, it can be done. Like at the end of the day, when they close the casket on me, if somebody says, they were inspired by this or they did this because I did that makes it all worth it. Again, and it goes back to what we started this conversation with: courage, man. It takes courage. I see.
You gotta take chances.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Even if you fail, at least you did it. There's actually a reward in failing. I tried. It didn't work out, but I did it. And that's the thing. You can't take that away from you. And that experience it's worth more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. We're at the point now where we hit the 1 year milestone, right? We're creeping up on a year and a half being open, and unbeknownst to me, there are some people out there that don't want to see us succeed. And it's now starting to make its way back to me, like the information, the things that people are saying and stuff. And, it makes it that much sweeter, man, to know that we're still doing it. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be people, what I'm trying to say is, people are going to root against whatever it is you're trying to do that's outside of the norm, outside of this box. People are going to ridicule you for it. They're going to ask, question why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is, if tomorrow we shut down, right? If tomorrow was the end of it, and they locked the doors to the building and they kicked me out, we have hundreds of artists that we gave opportunities to. We've raised thousands of dollars for nonprofits and organizations that need it. We've changed people's lives in just a year and a few months. Mm-hmm. You can't take that away.
And you're giving this town something that it needs. It needs a pulse like this. And you're not even a one-trick pony. You do all these different things in here. Those seeds are just now taking root. Just wait. The trees got to grow. Trees don't grow overnight. They take time. But you're doing all the right maneuvers.
Trying to.
We both like that you're open to so many different things.
I
here.
love it. Like the market
Having
thing
comedy,
you do on the
having
Saturdays.
drag shows.
I love all
that's,
that.
That's cool.
Bring it. That's
That
what
is awesome.
that's what's going to give this place deep roots. If you're just doing one thing, it's only a matter of time. You're not going to make it. But you're doing so diverse. You're doing lots of different things. And I was just thinking, like I saw a little thing in the bathroom. I'm like, December, you should be renting this thing out for private Christmas parties all month long.
That's the goal.
That's all this, man.
So last year I lined up 7 different Christmas shows, right? We had a heavy metal Christmas show. We had a punk rock Christmas show. We had the Dancing Fleas. They did a Christmas show. There were 7 different, and all of them were like different genres.
Awesome.
And all of them were mediocre attendance, right? Yeah. So this year, the plan is to use December for like holiday parties and have one big Christmas show.
Big blowout.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think I spread it too thin.
People are always looking for a venue to do their holiday party. They're always looking. Can I bring in tables? Can I bring catering? Do you have a back door?
Yes. And it will be cheaper than anywhere else in town. I can promise you that.
They have the budget for it, so they don't even care what it costs. They just care can I put 100 people in there? Yes, you can.
They have a room that's not where their work is or wherever it is that they can go to.
Oh my God, you should be booked all of December for that. That would make your year.
We hope so. So if you need to book a holiday, birthday party, bachelorette party, or any corporate event, you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to host it.
I got another one for you.
Baby showers.
This is a little one that flies under the radar, and I don't even know why I'm saying it, but I'm going to tell you. That male strip review stuff is killing it right now.
Oh, the Saturday before
Men
Mother's
of Steel Day. And, guns blasting, whatever.
Girls' Night Out is the Saturday before Mother's Day. Right here. We got
destroy it.
I
worked one of those one
we did
time.
It last year.
Oh my God, I made so much money.
And I'll say this much too. If you're a dude and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, fuck that, I'm not going to no male stripper show. Let me tell you right now.
It's all women.
It's 150 horny women.
Jeez, like shooting fish in a barrel.
It doesn't get any easier.
I worked one time years ago, and at the Breakfast Club uptown.
Oh yeah,
and
Jody's place.
Yeah. And Jody was like, "Hey man, can you dress up like just cocktail?" I'm like, "Absolutely, no problem." And that's when you could still smoke, So I'm walking around lighting girls' cigarettes. They give me $5 tip. I'm like, okay. And the bartender's downstairs like, "We're not splitting the tips with you." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." 20 minutes later, I'm like, "I got $180. You sure you don't want to split tips with me?" And they're all looking at me like, "Huh?" I go, "The show just started." I was killing. I made so much money in there. I could not believe how much money. These women were sitting there. They had all the little things, their stacks of their money. I'm like, whoa, what is going on?
It was the wildest
so much fun.
show in here.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, we did it last year. We're going to do it again this year. It was wild, man. It was a party. And I never in my life would have thought I would have enjoyed. I've still never seen Magic Mike. I've never watched the movie.
No, me neither.
But that show we did last year was wild, and we're going to do it again this year.
It was entertaining just watching the crowd.
Yeah,
they're going bananas. It was
their
night out.
People watching was on point that night.
It was I was just about to go there. Like it was their night. They got out of their house.
Yes.
They got off of their phones, and they all had a blast.
Yeah.
But you see, that's what you've created. You've created a venue, not just a rock venue. You create a venue for entertainment. Mm-hmm. Does it matter what entertainment? As long as people are in here? No, it doesn't matter what kind you got on here. You created a venue that can support all different types of mindsets and interests and stuff. I mean, that's genius.
It is Gaston County's premier
it is.
entertainment venue.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's gonna only get bigger because people are moving out of Charlotte. They're moving. Everything's going this way. You got in right ahead of that curve right there. So you just 5 years from now,
I'm crossing my fingers that it all works out. And for all of those reasons, you should be here this Thursday. Yes. It's a leap year. We get the extra day this year, and we're using that extra day to headline Hellfire 76. We got digital dolls. We got physical digital on the lineup.
Absolutely.
This is going to be
that's a lot of digital.
We love it.
We're going to get digital, baby. This is going to be a fun show, and so come on out, for the extra day this year. You guys, we've got you. You're going to be a regular here. We're going to see you, 2 or 3 times a year.
We love it.
If you've never seen Hellfire 76, get your ass here and check them out. Like I said, way back at the beginning of this interview, you're just so much noise coming from two guys.
Great.
And
Thank
it's,
you so
and it's
much.
beautiful.
We do
It's-
work hard at that.
Yeah,
actually.
I love what you guys do, and you'll love it too. Come check us out. Do you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
New album coming out.
Yeah, new
soon.
album coming out. We just got
cool.
finished recording that, and how it's coming out, we're still figuring that out right now. But it could be a pretty interesting summer.
Well, if we can manage it, I'd be happy to host a release party
That's
for
what we
you.
were,
know what?
we
You
were
got it.
thinking about that
Deal.
too. Like,
Yeah.
that would be good.
I love doing album release parties. They're so much fun.
They really are.
I mean, when you just get to celebrate your art like in a way that matters. I love doing that shit.
Oh, we love it. This is a perfect venue for it too.
Awesome.
And maybe bring in all two pieces with that one. Might
That's
just do that.
you know
That
what
could be the fourth.
That would
That
be
could be
it.
it.
We're gonna go have this conversation. We're gonna go talk
Yep.
business. Thank you so much
It'll
for
be
being
two,
here,
two,
Mike
two, two.
Von Berry. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you
I
for
really
having us.
appreciate your time.
Very much.
And come check them out this Thursday, y'all. Peace and love.